in a thick atmosphere of tension, full of madness. Rush towards the epidemic. Like this ingenious young man, no one wants a direct confrontation. Just ran away. Just cleverly opened from his space warehouse raw. Keep releasing the remaining items inside. These things are big and small, including cars. Weapon of the sword, both hammer and sickle. 2 containers full of fuel and glue. These objects are constantly hitting the lamb fang. I almost caught everything on my run. Not in time to return. The devil with his mighty power. But now it's almost Zhang Yi's pastime. He's very angry when continuously objects released from the space warehouse hit the pain that made him hug his head. Fell to the ground in helplessness and shame. And then after a long time, the maiden lay silent. He seemed to be exhausted. After a series of phantom attacks and full of Zhang's surprise, I saw the wolf lying motionless. Young people stop the epidemic, stare at him for a moment, then keep running away, creating a safe distance big enough between them. It was as if he wanted to set up camp, light a small fire, and sit around grilling sausage. The young man just enjoyed the sausage, carefully look at the wind. Suddenly, after a moment of silence, the mausoleum woke up. Use all the remaining forces. He jumped towards the epidemic and shouted, "If you have the courage, don't run solo." His face was now completely deformed. Due to allergic reactions, it makes him even more terrifying. It is stupid to stop. The young man kept running to buy time. Wait for the guinea pig with a severe seafood allergy. The maverick gritted his teeth and chased after Theo, in the heart of aesthetics, on people who carry anti-allergic drugs. But whether it can reduce the symptoms, it can't last long either. I can't believe this guy is such an asshole. Even if I pretend to be dead, I will not stab a knife. After a while, chase, due to severe allergies and loss of strength, Lang Fong Ho Ku, and then spat out a sip of fresh blood. He slammed his hands into the snow in a hateful rage. It's clearly an ant. I dare not fight with myself in the end. And I lost because of such a dirty trick. Zhang Yi continued to take out the fire stove from the space and eat sausage. Captain Lang is asleep again. Half an hour later. Young man yawning short. Yawning because of belly tightening. Slowly, eat well and eat well. Zhang Yi looked at the maple, still lying motionless. The question is really dead, or fake death? Trong Yi is very careful. Take out the gun 6 and keep dropping copper candy on the wanderer's head. Red plague splashed. Young people continue to check thoroughly. It's really dead. I really am. Killed the company commander of the commandos of the Tay Sun base. Impossible for a lifetime to open up the space warehouse using the ability. Release something big. It looks like a car in the middle of nowhere. Press like this for sure. If you fake death, you can't move. Senza is really dead. Even if the play, it doesn't have to go this far. Then he pulled out a long sword. If so, I will cut your dried coconut. I'm going to flick a dry coconut. The young man breathed a sigh of relief. I'm sure he's really dead. Zhang Yi, after confirming that the leper has gone away forever, then come closer. His body is being crushed by a container. Move your hand closer to his skull. Then suddenly, there was a light in my hand, into the young man's body. This translation is the power of Lang Fong. They are constantly being bitten. After a while devouring the ability of the guinea pig, young people are excited to stand up. That's amazing. But suddenly, something happened. Young man panicked. I noticed something strange about my face. My right eye is broken. It feels like something is about to grow. Like not seeing clearly. The young man looked ahead. The right eye emits a mysterious light. The space in front of you is distorted. I'm curious. This is a 10-star ability. This is not God. Distort the space-breaking objects. To acquire new capabilities. The young man was excited to think. There's this new ability. It is also considered to have made up for the shortcoming in terms of attack. Will later fight more gently with mutants. Not afraid of guns. It's just that God's power is too great. One time use, I felt like my body was half empty. I can only use it 3 times in a row. Young man immediately tests VI and the effect of the new ability. If it's a VI attack range, it should be about 300 meters. It is not suitable for long-distance shooting. but sneak within VI 300 meters. It's better than a heavy gun. Now the next victim will be the AI. It's not too far away. See the battlefield and stream through the cars of Zhang Yi. IP harmonized inquiries. SAO is not over
Captain
yet.
Mausoleum.
They should have killed the guy very quickly. That's right. The guy is still confident. I think the enemy will win. That follow words. He said the captain was going to torture him slowly. Don't worry. We have to believe in the captain's abilities. The woman in the room feels that something is wrong. But the captain is not the one who would be so careless. At the same time, from the spring and the uncle looked at each other silently. Lasted so long. It must have been effective. There's a good play to see. Right now, there's Zhang's voice in the ear echoing out. Zhang Yi carefully instructed everyone to keep quiet. It's not surprising. Don't show that there's anything unusual. Wait for me to send a signal and then launch an attack. To hear Zhang Yi's voice from within the ear out, but view and from spring thunder aesthetic. That's Zhang Yi's voice. He's still alive. In the spring, it was decided that the old man had won. The wind is dead. In the meantime, young people is hiding behind a snowflake. Take a quick look at the Tai-san army. Zhanjing starts to select the target. He used his divine eye. And the target chosen is the neck of the flower. Ability to attack from behind, it makes her feel abnormal. Then she screamed for help. The head of the bird has been cut off. In the horror of the fellow next door. The whole group then returned to the Xinghai to ask a question. I don't know what happened. I saw my head and body split in two. The red translation is all over. Young Men Tang translation with the leper's head in his hand. The Great Plague. The wind was killed by me. The whole group came back incredibly. How could he have hurt the captain? Give orders to everyone right now. Go down and kill them. From the spring, he used his ability to control the snow. An opportunity to launch. The view is ready to jump. Let's all jump together. The snow to help the view. Grandma Salary and Big Cat quickly approaching the enemy. Stand outside. Order them to kill them. Not missing an AI. She slashed a sword from above. Promised Min, master of the animal system, spicy cursing. The hell are you? But he couldn't say anything more. She was sent to see the king of hell. Look back. All of his friends have taken their shoes with them. Move. He wanted to eat the power of the promised man. But this young man suddenly snatched. SAO doesn't work. Maybe these mutants are weak. There's no power like wind. So it absorbs abnormal energy. There's no big benefit. Trong Yi immediately called him View, and from spring lightning. Come here and try it. Both hands on the man of promise. Like it doesn't work. I can't do that. I don't feel anything. Uncle Vu continued, me too. They've mentioned this possibility before. Not everyone has it. Maybe we're not as capable as you. The young man heard you say this. Look out for mutants and superpowers. I still have a lot that I don't understand at all. Later, we need to study more documents of the Tai-san base. Hoa 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 is also near the body of the promised Min masterpiece. It's no use using the Kai to pounce on him. Can't bite the dysfunctional note, so the big cat decided to bite the promised Min master. He opened his mouth and swallowed him. When he saw that, Trong asked Hoa Hoa, "Can you absorb his power?" The flower nodded. "If so, leave them. Let's make you a late-night meal." At the entrance to the Tai-sun base, young people use diathesis. Suck it all into the space warehouse. She was curious to ask what else you were going to do. The young man answered coldly, "Work must not be rushed. We have to remember to clean up. You have to end it all to avoid the consequences later." The young man's words were loud explosions. The whole base blew you up. Watching the sea of fire burn. Then tell Zhang Yi, "You really are a chicken." Obviously, in this situation, their ability to survive is fragile. The young man replied with a question. It's like buying insurance. Like it's not over yet. Changyi immediately took out his off-road car from the space warehouse. Let me take you somewhere else. Get in the car. Two off-road vehicles quickly soaring on the ice and snow. Sitting in the car, use your phone to see the map. This is a map of the structure inside the Tae-sun base. Very quickly, two cars drove to the mountain range outside the Tae-sun base. She was very surprised. You've even thought about this. The translation said, according to the structural map of Tae-sun base, I found an escape route connected to the first repository of life. We have to get here fast, destroy the remaining remnants. And it's not hard to predict who's going to use this escape route. Chung Yip for fast car chase. The Tae-sun army is running out at the front exit. Suddenly, she saw Chen and shouted. Tran was running and biting tight to the aesthetic. Even in such a short period of time has been driven to the damn plague. People can drive faster than cars. It's also an off-road vehicle. The old man had to stop, he wondered. At SAO to this step still chasing. Except for the first repository of life, base areas near the blast center. It was almost completely destroyed. I abandoned my wife and ran away, so I was lucky to escape death. He finally fell under his hands. Stop the car and get out slowly. The young man slowly approached the age ceiling, even though he's protected by two men armed with machine guns. The young man was not afraid to ask, you're not the leader of the Tae-sun SAO base. You're the big guy, SAO, running away like this. In stark contrast to Zhang's position, old Chen was very afraid and said, you must not take risks. I think between us, we can even talk to each other. You can't kill me. My husband is also a prominent figure. And if you kill me, we'll break the balance between areas in the city. Tian Hai. At that time, I don't know how many demons will come here. You will face greater danger. The young man swung his ear and held the aesthetic. I don't care about that. Despite the old man's wry words, young man laughed. Haha, he said it must be, or SAO. He didn't even look at his current appearance. This jerking old man discovered behind me is the view and the spring is approaching. The doctor continued to say, people who lost their homes are not qualified to negotiate with me. Old Chen saw her backfire furiously. Don't panic. Hurry to explain. Now is the end of the world unwillingly. So I need to use heavy penalties to oppress people to follow. If I don't, everyone dies. Then he turned to the police and said, you're a genius. Just cooperate with me. With your ability, with my relationship and my mind. We can definitely do it again. Tae-sun base to grow stronger. Until then, the two of us proclaimed the entire city of Tianhai. It will all be easy. Listen to the lies. The old man's pumpkin was irritated. That's a lie. I'm sorry about what you said. Hasn't withdrawn yet. The young man used the divine eye. Immediately, the dried coconut of old man Chen. It was cut off from her neck. Red translation splashed. The guards panicked and called out to the leader. But it's too late. When the body is in one place, the head is in another. The young man said coldly, I don't need. I can do it myself. He saw his leader's head fall from his neck. Two soldiers from the Tae-sun base risked their lives. They're going to die in their hands, each with a grenade. They're determined to kill the operation. At this time, the epidemic is from the space warehouse. Ruz, a handgun. Young people don't say no, just shoot them in the leg. Even though he was shot suddenly, he was about to fall on the spot. Finished, two soldiers Tae-sun. I didn't forget to throw two grenades towards the translation. Rapid expansion of heterospatial space Ra. Two bombs are about to explode inside. Both legs were injured and unable to move. Two soldiers just lay there waiting to die. Zhang Yi walked towards me. A panicked man exclaimed, don't come over here. But the more he said, the faster Zhang Yi came. The distance is close enough. Young people begin to open heterosexual space. Take out the grenade. Sound an hour. A Tae-sun soldier with only a dry skeleton left. The other guy saw that and almost peed his pants. He also knew that the next person would be him. I don't want to beg anymore. Move towards the other name. The young man put a hand on his head, and then used the power of the psychic to spin one. Jen's face is so cold right now. It's ineffable. The young man looked at the head of the Tay-Sun soldier. It's breaking apart. There's fresh snow, coldly said. Now the ability to control your space. It's getting stronger. Finished with the Tay-Sun soldiers. They were careful to burn their bodies. She stood next to me. When he saw such a young man, he asked, "Does it have to be that way? You seem too careful. Now, the entire Tay-Sun base has been destroyed by you. What are you worried about?" He breathed a sigh of relief after the treatment was completed. The remnants of the Tay-Sun base turned around. "Please explain to me." Before Chen Haiyan is a major figure of the city of Tianhai. It's not. I didn't know he had a complicated social background. Like after he died, someone came looking for me. Let's avenge him. When the young man finished, his face looked dazed. Is it possible now that I feel capable? No matter what you think. Distortion of interest. I clenched my hand and twisted it. Let the body be comfortable. It's because of careful engineering so you can survive. In an age like this. So any little bit of danger. They also have to be cleaned. A while later, Zhang Yi came back to tell her a salary makes you hard. If before you came to the Tay-Sun base. Think carefully. Previous consequences. Maybe it won't end like today. The salary also admitted, Trong Yat is right. Because you were in a hurry before. Take your students to Tay-Sun base. That's right. If only I could have thought more carefully. Maybe it won't. There are so many innocent students. While you pay, I've been thinking about Zhang Yi's words. The young man urged me to view, and from fact, we're going back. I can see that Zheng is preparing to return. Your salary startled you to say, "Please pick up my students first." I can't believe that this time. The waiter agrees with the salary. Go back to helping the students. 2 cars speeding down the road, back to where the students were hiding. I saw someone coming to the students. A man came running up and yelled for a salary. Take your salary to the place. The plague has not forgotten what I promised you before. We went back before. That's right. According to estimates, I'll provide you with shelter and food. Come to the village from out. Now, there's a lot of prevention that can be done. Look at Zhang Yi's cold attitude. The salary is a bit surprising. Then, you can't come back and pick us up. Trong Yip frankly replied to her salary. I've fulfilled the contract between the two of us. Save you Ra. To be grateful and agree to provide a place to stay. And some food for your students. If you want more than that, you can exchange equal benefits with me. She spoke in a stammering voice. I thought we were friends. He held up a finger and told her the salary. It's because you should be so frank. Just like that, it doesn't hurt our feelings. She realized that she had thought too much. It's between you and the troll. It's just a win-win partnership. Think about it. Just breathe. We'll get there ourselves. She said the salary left in a hurry. Pest before leaving, I didn't forget to say hello. We met another day in the village. The young man looked at the shadow of his conscience. It's the aesthetics of your Kier students. I don't care. As a mutant, heaven has high martial arts. I have no reason to ignore it. Sooner or later, there will be a day. You became my man. You always come back in. I saw the students lighting a fire. Worried about asking, is everyone okay? I didn't answer your salary question. A female student impatiently asked the opposite. Why are they gone? I'm not saying we'll arrange a place for us. She came softly. Hand psychological reassurance students. Don't worry, Zhang Yi and I have discussed it. I'll take you from the trauma. It has a good living environment. More. From the earthquake, there are many villagers living near the Jiang Highway River. Later, we can fish from the river to eat. The elephant asked for 2 Trung ladies. A schoolgirl not satisfied with your salary. Ask her salary. As far as I know, it's a big deal and 6 possibilities. They have all moved into Zhang Yi's mansion. Why don't you discuss the translation? So we'll move in there as well. The girl makes sense. If transferred into living in Zhang Yi's villa, it's kind of like gratitude, and of course, they don't have to worry about their future. A boy nods. I agree with Kier's question. Right. If Yangshin Han and 6 are likely to be, why can't we? The girl turned to her salary. If you pay, you can go and discuss with Trong Yip. It's cold outside. Catch us. Go catch the fish. Your hands will freeze. Next to the students, not satisfied with the present, there are also people who understand. They just stood silently listening to the salary. Don't think about this anymore. The operation helped us escape from the Tae-sun base. It's been very difficult. Why do they have to give us shelter again? At least now, we're free. It's better than the Tae-sun base. Without knowing tomorrow, Sao. The students still haven't given up. Lesbians pay loud voice. Stop talking. The first time I saw her angry, the girls also have a little bit of a turn. Then she sat on the ground holding the sword. Close your eyes and tell everyone. Let's all take turns watching tonight and rest. Tomorrow morning, we're on our way from the epicenter. The students saw that the salary seemed determined. Silence says nothing more. Move the scene to the next day. I was driving and told the view. Maybe you and Aunt Chu can move here. Villa area and so on. The manor is luxurious. Until then, it's up to you to choose. The living environment here is much better than the music district. Later, everyone is closer together. We can also support each other. View what Trong Yi said. His eyes revealed a touch. Yeah, I think that's good. After this great battle, I also feel the power of solidarity. In fact, there were only 2 of us there. Sometimes I'm a little scared in my heart. From the spring, I looked at the view with surprised eyes. What are you afraid of? The spring brings you to the shoulder of Uncle View, confirmed. With your power. Unless you meet a Western-style organization, they usually have up to 50 people. Neither is his opponent. Uncle, look at the distance. I'm worried about encountering similar organizations. Who is a technocrat? I also agree with your view. The young man said his view was reasonable. From the last words of Chen Xin can know, Tianhai City can't have just one Zishan base. Although the ice age is approaching, it makes most people die. But that also means that the survivors are hard to deal with. Tianhai City is a superpopulated city with 20 million people. You imagine here, how many talented people will there be and how many armed forces? But we don't have to worry too much. Tae-sun is so strong and still destroyed by us. After that, everyone is together, with our current power. Even if we meet AI, we won't be afraid. Listen to Trong Yi analyze the truth. You made the decision to move immediately. That's right. We'll pack up right away. Moving house now. The nurse just got home. Then Zhou Kai Ni and Yang Mi immediately borrowed from him. They're anxious to go around. Check out the hands and check out Zhang. See if you get hurt. Look at the action and their nervous behavior. Speak up in a cold voice. Like I'm going to get hurt, like you think. I don't. Sao is still very good. It's still full. There's no missing parts. It's still usable. The 2 girls breathed a sigh of relief. Aunt Chu is also very worried about your safety. I saw my husband and I grabbed him. 2 hands of the view to visit. You're not hurt. My face is a little tired. But neither one was hurt. Don't worry, there's no problem. While everyone's asking around. Then 6 stood still, looking at Zhang Yi in a corner of the house. Young people translate. She seemed to understand the thoughts in the girl's heart. Go 2.6. Campaign for 6 revelation and emotional embrace. Then say thank you. This victory cannot be without your help. 6 suddenly, his face immediately changed. She smiled. I was a little embarrassed when I was hugged. She also put her arms around the young man. Then say the words. Just a little help. CA and everyone. He is the one who creates the most power to win the war. He stared at his cheeks. The flaming of the 6 realms, and then playfully hands, slight cheeks, of course. They know how to win women as hearts. You say the words, so that 6th revelation has the feeling in your heart how important you are. Don't underestimate yourself. You are so important to me. Listen to this sentence of Zhang Yi. 6. Your face is red. 2 hands clasped awkwardly. Important to him. He said he was important to him. At the same time, the Lord has just arrived. She stared at the intimate gestures. That's for 6 possibilities. Understand the problem. The movement is also rapidly approaching to bend down. Hug a Hun. Continue. Then the compliments are poured into the hands of Hun Han. According to him, who played the main role this time, it can be said that, God, that's our little girl. Slowly, he sat down next to Yang. Then I took her little hand. Young man smiling. For the girl, winged compliments on your level of expertise. Without your strong hacking skills. Can be said to be super pro VIP. It's basically our plan this time. Will not be able to deploy. There was no way to get into the Tay-Sun base. With such a tight security system and force. After the war is over and listen to Zhang Yi's announcement. Return to the shelter. Then everyone is happy. Happy to tell you. Of course, it's good to be back, even though the conditions at the shelter are excellent. And it's much more spacious. The elephant looked at Zhang Yi curiously and asked him what he planned. And Chu also responded, not even my previous house. I paid 200 million for it when I bought it. What to look at, Chu replied. It's been completely destroyed. But there are many other villas intact. Then we can move to another one. Listen to Zhang Yi. What a sad face. Chu breathed a sigh. What eyes show clearly regret. It's been accumulating my whole life. After a while to rest, get up and talk to people. The horse started to stand up. It's open space. Ra collects everything inside. The young man also told everyone, just bring the necessary items. Keep the status quo of the house and left a piece of furniture behind. Shou Kai and Yang Honey also immediately start collecting your personal luggage. The translation continues. And especially one day there is an unforeseen situation. We can use this place as a shelter. Hide away. This is still a high security shelter. And it's also Zhang's passion. Right from the moment the world entered that phase. So I appreciate it. After everyone went out, the young man carefully locked the door. Zhang Yi thought silently, no one can enter this place except me. I'm not that good. Leave this place for others to use. Suddenly, detecting fluid behind my back, there's someone snooping. I turned around and saw the shadow of a man. And the AI that grows the soil is the name of the sword. The sword quickly moved closer to the front. The young man was surprised. How did he get up here? The young man asked coldly. What are you doing here? I'll let you up. Li Swordsman replied Zhang Yi. Last night, we heard a loud explosion from the west. Everyone's awake, so no one can sleep. Then we saw you come back this morning. So I ran over here to see how it was. The translation also takes some time to ask him. How has your body been lately? Do you feel anything unusual? The sword answered no. I can't use that ability much now. Professor Sand once warned, if you use too much, maybe I'll be fertilizer soon. When he said a few words, he hurriedly greeted him. Then leave, just live like this through the day. You need more health care than care. After a while moving, the group also went to the old house. Just got into the house. Zhang Yi said the word, spring lightning and uncle view. There are about 10 houses that have not been destroyed. When you're done resting. Health recovery, the spirit of comfort, is up to 2 people to choose. Uncle View and Uncle Spring looked at each other with excited faces. Then you can nod. After you've solved everything. A new translation into his own room. Big cats always wrap your feet. He lies down on a familiar bed. To enjoy life after so many days of suffering the Tay-Sun people. The young man closed his eyes. The effect of the stimulant is also running out, and then the body goes into a debilitating state. Worried about it for a month. I can finally get a good night's sleep. After a moment of thought, the epidemic quickly went into a deep sleep. Flowers too. Maybe it's too tired to lie next to it. Fall asleep in the air. See your group of people suddenly pulled to the village from home. Everyone in the village was curious to sneak to the top of the village. He looked with curious eyes mixed with fear. They secretly thought people from the Tay-Sun base. What are they doing here again? Hundreds of thousands flashed in the heads of the villagers from home. A series of questions and concerns just pile up in their minds. Tay-Sun people come here to exploit people. Or you want to steal all the food here? Just walked inside. The nurse saw a heartbreaking scene. Familiar in the past, everyone in the house is starving. For a long time, there is no life in them. Everyone is looking for a rock to try to cope with adversity. There was a thought in her mind. The accommodation issue has been resolved, but eating is still difficult. It's not a small obstacle. Confronting this difficulty is the unfathomable challenge. She glanced around, immediately caught the eyes of probing of the people in the village. Hiding behind the fence, they guard the wings of fear. Your appearance can bring big trouble. But your mind is now. Just focus on solving the problem. Conundrum supplies. Many thoughts appear in your mind. These students, it can't be mastered quickly at the same time. Fishing skills under thick ice. I can't move outside either. Or trespass on the people of this village. No one can help you right now outside of the emergency room. You have to bite your teeth. But think of Zhang Yi, the only person who can help at this moment. After a moment of reflection, she took a breath and decided. There's only one way to find the plague. Ask for some food to fill your stomach. Temporary. Transfer scene to Zhang Yi's villa. After returning home, young people spend most of their time resting to regain renewable energy. Right now in Shou's room, Kai Ni is doing massage movements. Easy for you. While Zhang is closing his eyes to enjoy the refreshing feeling. The light is light. Ask Mr. Trong Yi. We're safe now. Do you want to consider having a baby? Listen to this topic. A Long Yun came out. The young man answered frankly. Why did you have that thought? Once you have children, we're going to have to spend a lot of energy on them. Every day. Chu Kai Ni heard Trong Yi's eyes became sad. I think the baby looks sad. Gently stroking her cheek to comfort her. Enjoy the present life. Don't think too far. I see that Zhang does not want to. The child is also silent. Keep massaging me without saying anything else. Even so, in the depths of the epidemic, I know I don't want to have children. Not to mention that it's going to affect your current life. The end of the world before us. One more life, just one more burden. At the end of the world, humans are dying. Give birth to another child and put him to death. After a while, the children were brought up again. With a deep desire. But I really want a baby. It's the spark of love between us. You can't. In the heart of Shou Kai, it's not a real desire for you. Baby that they would probably create together. It's a whole other love. Before the current situation, there's more and more women in this shelter. If you have children, his position in his heart will be stronger. Not SAO. Expand maybe understand the hidden minds behind the eyes of the child, quickly moving into a new approach. The young man smiled and looked at Shou Kai Ni. That's too much trouble. There's a simpler way. I heard my man say that. Is stimulated. Curious, she asked again. What measures? He's pinching your chin. Teach them how to keep their feet. You keep your body, your hot figure, and your beautiful face. Practice some more techniques. Chu Kai Ni, to cheeks flushed because of shy. She looked at Zhang Yi with wide eyes. Maybe if I didn't ask you to speak for yourself, you never thought of this. The nine-faced man pointed his hand at Zhang Yi. I only know how to tease you. Then she pressed close to Zhang Yi's face and whispered, this kind of thing, you can't do it alone. I miss you now. You can be a little bit more arrogant. Young people are not the same. Although weak, martial arts is still very beneficial. I also whispered into the hand of the child. Wait until your health is restored. Either way, let me know your benefits. The two continued to fight. I haven't seen any special action. Okay, I'll wait and see. Uncle, wait. Outside the door, the view came. I'm going to knock on the door again. I heard the words of the two of you. It also stops for a while. Uncle Fuang pretended to cough. Just a few things to let Zhang know he's coming. The police officer arrived and was right outside. She said she wanted to see you. He told the woman in the room to invite her in. I have something I want to talk to her about. I just saw Zoe leave the room. Yang Mi ran to help him away, worried face. The translator replied, no need. Your health condition is not that weak. It was very nice to see you again. Your salary comes and invites you to sit here. I see your salary is busy. Simply in the winter, the wind is cold. Put on more combat gear. The translator asked, why don't you wear combat gear when you walk outside? She had just received a glass of hot water from Trong. Just met the temperature control system, needs to consume electricity. The young man remembers now. Not everyone is as rich as me. I think it's right. In this moment, it's not that AI can also use power anytime like me. He took a sip of tea. I just talked to the salary. With your ability, you could have lived a little more comfortably. I didn't think it would be so hard today. An outspoken person who doesn't like circling. You get straight to the point. What happened to you this time?